Dick, the emotions of this game, very important at the start. I think that the Rockets were too emotional in game one. I think they got to come in on a more even keel to start it.
The Celtics will be looking for a 7th consecutive playoff game victory, the first time in its team's history. And Houston controls with Reed. Reed and Lloyd did not play well for Houston in game one. Lloyd especially. Double team. Here's Rodney McRae, short with the jumper, and Bird gets the rebound.
Part of the strategy is make McRae score for the Celtics.
And also tried for the Houston Rockets to keep Larry Bird busy defensively. McHale up on high, Sampson playing him, same matchups as game one. Bird going strong to the hoop, trying to pass it, and Reed on the deflection. 2-on-1, Lloyd filling the lane, gives the Rockets the lead.
That's what they need more of, Lewis Lloyd in the open court.
McHale comes right back and ties the game, and you always have to watch out for the quick break back by the Green.
Larry Bird, one of the best at getting that ball up the court after a made basket.
Sampson playing up on high. Reed looking for Olajuwon. Guarded by McHale. Forces a pass, picked off by Dennis Johnson, who looks like he sprained an ankle in a collision with his own man. Looks to be all right.
Now that's what the Rockets will have to do. Better reading of the defense.
And another steal by Houston, and they have a 4-on-2 opportunity. Lloyd to Sampson, and no basket. We have an offensive foul called against Sampson, and Bill Fitch is up and screaming.
Lewis Lloyd should have delivered that ball much sooner to Sampson instead of picking up that foul by Larry Bird. Just smart defense by Larry Bird.
That was a fast break opportunity that went by the boards for the Rockets. Now McHale working on Sampson. Scores. McHale, a great scoring weapon, helped get Ralph into foul trouble early in the first game on Monday.
But he played that one beautifully. Even keel, very conservatively. Don't get in early foul trouble.
Sampson with a sky hook, misses everything. Dennis Johnson, who had 11 rebounds to lead the Celtics in the first game. Harris just missed, and Hakeem and Bird collided, and the foul is against Houston. And it's against Hakeem Olajuwon, his first.
Boston's fast break is beautiful. They advance it with the pass, and if they catch you with a mismatch, you pay.
And Sampson on McHale, and a foul before the shot, and those are the kinds of fouls that Ralph Sampson has picked up that get him in trouble early.
He should not be bodying him on the catch now. He should really release. Don't body him because McHale likes to spin.
McHale's shot is blocked, and goaltending is called against Olajuwon. Credit the hoop to McHale, and the crowd likes what they see in the opening 2 minutes. Robert Reed came on, the swingman, playing in the backcourt as a playmaker. Lloyd looking for Sampson. Parrish has him out pretty far. 3 on the shot clock. And the Rockets are getting off terrible shots, and the Celtics have the ball and the lead.
None of the mix of offense by Bill Fitch has worked so far.
Parrish coming out for a pick. Here's Ainge. So the Celtics have scored 8 in a row after the Rockets' first basket of the game, and a timeout. Everyone talks about Kevin McHale being an impossible matchup, and they think because Sampson's 7'4" that equalizes it, but not so much the case. 8-2 as the Celtics have scored 8 in a row, and a quick timeout by Bill Fitch before things get out of hand. Lewis Lloyd with a high rainbow shot, misses. And there inside is Sampson coming back offensively, and already he has as many points as he scored in game one.
Very important basket for Ralph Sampson, particularly that type of basket, an offensive rebound.
Lloyd on Dennis Johnson. The Rockets' defense by their guards were subpar. Houston again with a fast break opportunity, loses it on a turnover again. Bird in three-point territory. He came out 2 hours before the game. They had to turn the lights on for him and took shots all over the floor at both ends. And it's paid dividends.
Personal foul, first of the team.
Score every basket, and you know, you just can't do that. You have to build emotionally into the game. You got to let your game grow with the emotions. He stuck out like the the player the size he is, and he came to the attention of the officials.
He may be one of those players, Tommy, that'll always be a target of the slingshots. Who doesn't deliver exactly what they expect. He could be one of those. McRae fights through a screen by Bird. Parrish keeps it alive. Using Parrish for picks outside. Olajuwon knocks it away. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Celtics. McRae cuts off the baseline. Parrish. Sampson played him smart there.
Never went for the fake that time, Ralph Sampson.
McRae coming right back. Open is Lloyd inside. And with 4 minutes gone by in the first period, the Celtic lead is 3.
They are pushing the ball up much better in this first quarter than I think at any time in the last game, the Rockets.
Rockets are a team with poise. They may get beaten in this series, but they won't lose their poise. Hayes drives baseline. But they're going against a team that gets it from 5 starters and Bill Walton. Steal. Hayes 2-on-1 with Bird.
Poor passing, mental mistakes. That's what Fitch was worried about.
Sampson. McRae on the follow-up. And the Rockets trail by 5 again.
That's where McRae can really help. Crash the boards while Bird is playing that free safety defense.
Celtics have shot 7 of 10. They were over 50%. All 5 starters were. 8 at 11 for Boston as McHale gives them a 7-point lead again.
Sampson gave up the good position.
Double team on Ralph. And Sampson now with 6 of the Rockets' 12.
When they make the hard push up the court, the Rockets, Sampson gets better low post position.
McHale trying to get an inside spot. Sampson yelling for 3 seconds. McHale misses. And here's Lewis Lloyd. Ralph just saw that ball bounce, didn't go after it. I was a bit surprised. Robert Reed, long distance. And it's now 17-14. The Celtics scored 8 in a row early, and the Rockets have hung in there.
You know, they make mistakes, the Rockets, but they always around the score.
McHale to Parrish. Nearly halfway through this opening period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn at Boston Garden on a hot, steamy night, and another sellout as usual. Lewis Lloyd running it in, and it's 3 again, Boston.
Lewis Lloyd said, I want to hit my first jump shot. They've got him in the game. He can be tough.
Ball knocked away. Celtics have turned it over. Sampson on the steal, and it'll be Houston ball to Larry Bird's dismay. Yesterday, given the MVP award for the 3rd consecutive year, and only Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain ever won the MVP award 3 straight years. In the game is Mitchell Wiggins, good defensive player, streak shooter in for Lloyd.
But they got a lot of good offense out of Lewis Lloyd.
Surprised at the early substitution?
Yes, I am.
Olajuwon with his first shot of the game and his first points. The Rockets are down by 1. Bill Fitch told us he'd take him out early if he didn't produce. Goes up and is fouled. Lloyd, by the way, scored 6 points. Was he not doing the job defensively?
I think his ball handling, more than anything else, was concerning Bill Fitch.
There is Lewis Lloyd out of Overbrook High School in Philadelphia. Went to military school in New Mexico and ended up in Drake in Des Moines, Iowa. Originally with Golden State. Hearing a few from Bill Fitch there.
I'll tell you, Casey Jones is as worried about him as he is about Sampson and Olajuwon.
Reed committed the foul, and here is Ainge. And Danny Ainge has now made 22 consecutive free throws in the playoffs. Celtics by 3, 5:14 to go in the opening period. Wiggins guarded by Bird. And Mitchell Wiggins, who got hot in the first couple of games against the Lakers. And if he gets hot, he can help the Rockets.
That is a big shot for him, popping out behind a pick. He's usually better on the break getting those jumpers.
Ainge fall away. And Sampson comes down with it. His 3rd rebound of this period. Under 5 minutes to go, opening session.
But he held on to it too long.
Reed fall away. And a loose ball foul called against Houston. Rodney McRae was in there for the boards, and he'll get hit.
Why a play by Dennis Johnson. That's why he is such a smart defensive player to step in there as a guard and block off a big man. That time it was McRae.
Good matchup here with Wiggins on Dennis Johnson. He says, I want to do to Dennis what I did to Magic Johnson. Let him dance a bit. Take 6 or 7 seconds bringing it up.
Well, they're much more aggressive. They're getting out tighter against the Boston guards than they did in game 1.
Bird had the ball in good position and found the open man, Parrish. Parrish was the leading scorer for the Celtics with 23 in Monday's opener. Olajuwon triple team, and it worked. Celtics by 3. Ainge to Dennis Johnson. And Olajuwon in the pack. Can't get the outlet pass. Reed pushes it up.
Nobody pulled to the side to get the outlet pass.
McRae working to Wiggins. Fouled from behind. 4 minutes exactly remaining in the first period. Ainge foul.
You're going to see court savvy in action. Bird just mesmerizes Olajuwon with the fake and then slips it nicely to Robert Parrish for the 2.
Rockets, a lot of people think ahead of schedule. 3 years they went from 14 to 51 victories in a division title, then shocked the Lakers in the Western Final. Now they got their hands full against the traditional team. Olajuwon is fouled. He'll go to the line. Here's the rebounding story early. The Celtics had the edge by a slim margin in game 1, and it's tight again.
And they did a very nice job with 5 guys rebounding, but that last play, Kevin McHale picked up the foul, but he played good defense. He forced Olajuwon to the fall-away jump shot.
Bill Walton has come in. Parrish goes out with 4 points. And Walton, who is virtually flawless in 18 minutes, 5 for 5 from the field, and his terrific rebounding, comes in early. Larry Bird yesterday, when he accepted the MVP award, said the one thing Olajuwon has to work on, and I think he's one of the greatest, is his free throw shooting. 62% coming into this game.
Well, there's no question he's going to get fouled a lot. He'll get a lot of practice in the games if he doesn't even practice them on the court.
Tommy, is Casey Jones wary of the heat here tonight? That's why he's making that early substitution up front?
Could be. Big guys tire out quicker.
Celtics a little sloppy with ball handling at times. Sampson blocks Walton's foray. Reed, long pass, but Bird was there. Can't do that when Larry Bird is back. He has too much anticipation.
Look how quickly he got the ball to the attack, Dick.
The little things, they're not so little, I guess, that Larry Bird does.
Up quick with the ball. Don't dribble, don't hold it. Get it up fast.
Hakeem. And it's 25 to 23 with 3:06 to go first period. The Celtics had a 7-point lead. At one time ran off 8 in a row, but Houston has hung in there. And they call Wiggins for the pushing foul.
And they're playing with a little less emotion, and they're playing with their heads a little bit more than they did in the first quarter of the first game.
Here's Dennis Johnson, who was fouled by Wiggins before the timeout. He had the best all-around game of any Celtic in the opener, but that's no surprise because he rises to the occasion in games like this.
What really showed me what a great player Dennis Johnson is his blocking out of the big people of the Rockets on the defensive board.
All 5 Celtic starters have scored. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first period. 27 to 23 Boston. Only Houston lead was first bucket of the ball game. 7 on the shot clock. McRae with 3 seconds gets it into Sampson. Hits the hook shot from the baseline.
But they took an awful lot of time off the clock to get that shot off.
Casey Jones told us before game 1, I don't mind matching big guys in a half-court game. And you pointed out the Rockets need to run to really do it against Boston.
They also have to get a good shot out of that set offense.
Walton inside, not that time. He had a good position, and they're going to call a Celtic foul. after the Rockets got the rebound, and it'll be the second foul on Danny Ainge. Now, one thing the Celtics didn't face was foul trouble in the backcourt in game one.
That's where I feel they're vulnerable, Dick. Without Scott Wedman, the Rockets have big guards. The next Celtic guard is Jerry Seasting at 6'1". Scott
Wedman has fractured ribs, not playing. This shot by Wiggins, rebound by Walton. Under 2 minutes to go, first period. Celtics lead 27-25.
All the Rockets got back fast that time.
Dennis Johnson, no good. Sampson with another rebound. Now a chance for the Rockets to tie it up. Sampson, good pass from Robert Reed to the trailer.
That's getting it to the sideline and then cutting straight to the hoop. The big guys of the Rockets are running.
We didn't see that in game one. And now Ainge overthrows McHale, turns it over to the Rockets, and with a minute and a half to go, the score is tied, and the Celtics are not playing textbook basketball by any stretch. Olajuwon goes up and gives the Rockets their second lead of the ball game.
Well, he turns to the middle. That makes him really tough. That time Danny Ainge didn't get down quick enough on the double.
Hakeem and Ralph have 17 of the Rockets' 29 points. Bird working against McCray. And Larry Bird, 7 points, including a three-pointer in this first period.
That time they played Bird one-on-one.
Minute to go. Olajuwon in on McHale, and he draws the foul.
That's bullshit.
And that may be against Kevin McHale. It is. It'll be his second personal foul.
Other than Bird, I think Bill Fitch would like to get Kevin McHale out of the game because he's as constant offensively as Boston's got. McHale, and strong move by Olajuwon to take it, and that spin move to the baseline. McHale tried to cut him off, but ends up with the foul.
Robert Parrish comes back into the ball game for the Celtics, and McHale goes out with 2 personal fouls. So that's one dimension, although it's inconclusive yet, that the Rockets were not able to pursue in game one, and that is Casey Jones having to make early moves with his big men.
Well, the 2 big men of the Rockets are really performing offensively a little bit better than the Celtics big guys are.
1 out of 2 for Olajuwon. Continues to struggle from the free throw line. Dennis Johnson as Wiggins guarding. 9 on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson goes up, and they call the pushing foul against Mitchell Wiggins, and Dennis Johnson drew that well.
Dennis Johnson going more to his offense in this first half than he did in game one. He didn't really get it going until the second half. And I didn't think he'd be going into the low post quite as much against these 2 shot blockers as he's shown so far in this game.
First free throw is good. Dennis Johnson with a fine all-round game in the opener, as we said, had 11 rebounds to lead the Celtics. We're tied at 30. 38 seconds to go. Dennis Johnson breaks the tie. Celtics had any problems in game one, it was from the free throw line. Leading by a point. Reed being shadowed by Ainge. Sampson comes out high. Olajuwon. Bird comes out of nowhere, nearly made the steal. 3-point attempt by Reed. Sampson is there for the rebound. And Walton clears it. Olajuwon got it away for a while. And now a wild throw. The Celtics claim Wiggins got a piece of it. And the officials checking with each other. It'll be Houston ball. And staying calm all the way is Casey Jones.
Mr. Calm.
Final seconds of the first period. Celtics led by 6 after 1 period in game one. McCray, Olajuwon doesn't go, and that's the end of the first period. We saw Jerry Seasting come into the ball game for the Celtics. Both teams shot extremely well in the first period. Dennis Johnson goes out of the ball game. All his points coming from the line. And so Seasting is in there. He'll have a height disadvantage against most of the Rocket guards.
Well, let's see if the Rockets exploit that.
Steal by Robert Reed, who missed the shot. Danny Ainge upset him just enough. Parrish back in. He hits from the corner. Robert Parrish The Rockets have failed on many fast break opportunities so far.
Well, they're getting them, and sooner or later they're going to pay off. But they got to make them pay when they're running.
Walton and Ainge double Olajuwon. McHale remains on the bench with 2 fouls. Reed misses. Sampson had it and lost it. Seasting going strong to the hoop. No foul, no harm, I guess. Reed is on the floor, and the Rockets wind up with the ball. McRae picked up by Walton. Bird just lurking. McRae using his quickness against Walton inside. Can't lay it up. And Parrish. Sampson got hit in the eye, and he's bleeding. He's bleeding from the left eye as Parrish won that duel. Danny Ainge, long-range shot. Sampson wants a timeout, a 20-second timeout. He was hit in the left eye. So they're going to have to bring out their cut man early in round 1.
You know, one of the things that they really hate is when ball players don't cut their fingernails. I don't know what really happened here, but a lot of times that's what happens. Somebody's fingernail gets him. But watch the battle of the Giants. Olajuwon bangs. Parrish can't hold on to it, and there's Sampson. And Parrish, with the little touch, must have hit him in the cheek with the elbow.
Ralph Sampson is starting off ablaze with 10 points and 6 rebounds, so he is coming back to answer the critics just as he did in Game 2, as Brent pointed out in Los Angeles. Check the elbow here.
Right now, he hits him as he comes down to get the ball right on the cheek.
And Ralph Sampson will go to the locker room, and replacing him will be Jim Peterson, who has emerged as a reliable front court reserve, had 8 points and 4 rebounds in 23 minutes, but Sampson has played well, and this has to hurt the Rockets.
They played a lot of minutes, the Twin Towers, the whole first quarter.
Celtics by 3, 33-30. Olajuwon over Walton, who got a hand in the face. Hakeem lets it go, and it's Celtic ball. Jess Kersey makes the call. So here's Jim Peterson, second year out of Minnesota, who was taught a few lessons by Kevin McHale in the opening game.
He's going to have to bang real hard against Robert Parrish, who's used to blocking out centers, not power forwards.
Bird looking for the open man, finds him again. Jerry Seasting.
The Rockets' defense was not coordinated that time. They doubled and then didn't rotate.
Olajuwon inside is fouled.
Time out on the floor. Just before the timeout, the Celtics foul was on number 12, Jerry Seasting.
You know, the Celtics feel if they can get this man to shoot the fall-away jump shot, even though he hits it, eventually he'll miss some, and he will not be in a position to get the offensive rebound. That's what really concerns him.
And he continues to miss chances to get 2 points when he goes to the line. Lloyd is on Dennis Johnson. Lloyd came out for Wiggins. He's back in the ball game. McRae trying to deny Bird the ball. Parrish. McRae's doing a good defensive job on Bird. He hasn't gotten inside at all. Parrish has to put it up with 2 seconds on the clock. Seasting crashing the boards, but it's Houston's possession. Good defense by McRae on Bird.
It's a little weak side rebounder, though, and Jerry Seasting trying to
How
hold
did he get in there? Peterson outside, trying to cut off the passes. McHale. Now Reed.
Well, they've taken McHale off of Olajuwon, put Parrish on him.
Olajuwon gets fouled again as he goes up with the shot, and that will be against Seasting, his second. Here's the shooting story so far in the game. As we mentioned in this period, the Rockets 0 for 4. So the shooting has dropped off in the first 3 minutes of this second period, and Olajuwon again on the line, and once again we'll see if he can make the 2 free throws.
Now, Robert Parrish, I don't think, likes to play Olajuwon because Olajuwon is quicker and more mobile, and that's why Casey Jones assigned McHale to him.
So here's Olajuwon, who, by the way, had more offensive rebounds in Game 1 than total rebounds by either McHale or Parrish. He is the next great center in the game. keeps it alive for the Celtics. Into Parrish. Over Hakeem. McHale is there with the long reach, and he's fouled. Celtics claim goaltending. McHale hitting the free throw.
He has so many moves, Dick, in that low post. And when he feels you, you are dead duck, because on the catch, he makes the best moves in the NBA.
Great reach. I don't know if anyone has ever blocked his shot. Forget about Kareem skyhook.
Well, Sampson ought to be able to do it at 7-4.
36-32. The Rockets have scored 2 points only this period. Olajuwon, arcing shot is good, and Hakeem has 12. Here's Ralph Sampson coming out of the locker room with the sutures in place. Pat O'Brien gave us a report, and we'll see how long it is before Ralph comes back in. Lloyd on Dennis Johnson. Bird. Harris. And Peterson boxing out, getting the rebound for the Rockets, who can tie it up. Nearly 4 minutes elapsed, second period.
But Olajuwon never left the ground that time. Good move.
Bird gets the rebound for the Celtics on Olajuwon's miss. It's a 4-on-2, and Dennis Johnson gets the basket and the foul for the Celtics, and does a somersault to boot. Five stitches on Ralph Sampson. There is Greg Kite, 6'11", and he can bang, and did a good job against Olajuwon in his brief time in game one. Parrish goes out. The foul was on Robert Reed, who has picked up 3 now. Thus, Alan Level gets the call from Bill Fitch. Foul is on Kite, his first foul, and has been rewarded with a new long-term contract by the Celtics.
Well, Greg Kite plays a lot of basketball against Olajuwon down in Houston. Probably knows Olajuwon's moves better than anybody at the Celtics.
Kite in his 3rd year, been in the finals each year. Defending Hakeem now. Peterson going to Hakeem. Double with McHale. Peterson goes up, stripped away by Danny Ainge. Looking for Bird, low toss. And Hakeem knocks it away into the hands of McRae. 3-on-2 for Houston. Here's Lewis Lloyd. Doesn't drop for the Rockets, who trail by 5. And the Celtics will try to match their biggest lead if they score here. Gives it to him. Celtics are up by 7 with 7 minutes remaining in the first half. And Sampson getting set to come back in. Another Celtic foul.
Just before the timeout, the Celtics foul was on number 34.
Unfortunately, a lot of people won't let him forget it, but right now he's responded. In fact, Tommy, the Twin Towers have 22 points. The rest of the Rocket team only 12 right now.
Well, the guards, Lewis Lloyd got off to a good start, and then Bill Fitch lifted him, and Wiggins, his replacement, didn't come along. Nor has McRae played as well in this game so far as he did in game one.
Danny Ainge for the Celtics.
Seasoning is back in, and Ainge had to be taken out when he picked up his 3rd. Even go to Lloyd, pick and roll, and Sampson passing to Lloyd. Hakeem getting his first rest of the game, has 12 points so far.
He played all those minutes, and not a huff and a puff to be seen.
I think that's going to be his trademark for a long time. Bird on a pick and roll to McHale, and he's fouled. They have Peterson and Lloyd inside, and the Celtics work that play well.
will have less options. He can play in the backcourt than in the front court.
6:15 to go in the first half. Level. He is playing actually with a broken bone in his wrist, the left wrist. He's struggling, shooting just 27% from the field. Trying to get the shooting eye back. Celtics can establish their biggest lead in the ballgame. Bird, fall away. And the Celtics are up by 9, and Larry Bird has 11.
All he needs is a half-inch to get that shot off.
Peterson setting a screen. Lloyd going inside. Blocked by McHale, out of bounds. And DJ, Dennis Johnson, gives him a hand. Shots coming into the game for McHale in the playoffs. Long range. Peterson is there. It was a wild shot by Love. Lloyd with 2 men on the end. Peterson keeps it going. McHale draws the winner.
Celtics foul is on number 50. Greg Kite, his second personal foul. Team is 4-11. Peterson at the line for the Rockets has 2 shots.
.5:11 remaining in the first half, 45-38 in favor of the Celtics. Bird, 3-point range, puts it out. That's 2 tonight for Larry Bird, and the Celtics have opened up a 10-point lead, and Bird is shooting 6 of 8 in the game. Maybe that 2-hour shoot-around for him before the game worked.
He tries to demoralize you with that outside shot. Save it for the right time.
Celtic foul. Sampson going in there, and Kite once more trying to establish territory, and he'll pick up his 3rd foul.
They're going to have one guy around him. They start to build a house. There's Kite, give him the body. There's Bird. Dennis Johnson around him. And they're going to call a foul on Greg Kite.
Kite gets a hand. And Walton comes back in. And here's how the teams have been shooting. Rockets struggling. Celtics at 50% this period. And the Rocket guards, Tommy, are shooting just a little over 30%, so they have not given support to the front court so far.
Lewis Lloyd is a guy that they really have to go to in order to get their guards going. Reed is a standstill jump shooter. When he's not hitting, it's not likely that he's going to start hitting in the second half.
As is the case with street shooters everywhere. 4:40 remaining in the first half. Level the lead. The Celtics have not had many second shots, but they've made a lot of the first ones count. McRae. Rockets continue to have an abominable shooting period. He's fouled by McRae.
Walton really, when he rebounds, gets that ball out quickly to trigger whatever speed the Celtics have with the fast break action.
Well, the Celtics made hay with Olajuwon on the bench, but Hakeem is back. I don't know if anyone can stop number 33. Hakeem Olajuwon back in the ball game. He's the high scorer for the Rockets with 12. Bird leads the Celtics with 14. Peterson is guarding Bird, and Olajuwon is on Walton. 9 on the shot clock. Seasting. Good pass to Walton. And those two are the new additions to the Celtics this year.
I'll tell you, that was a great heads-up play by Jerry Seasting. He had nothing but blue sky to get the jumper off, but he saw an easier one for Walton.
And the Celtics with the biggest lead of 11 points now, with 3:45 remaining in the first half. Seasting helping Walton. Good pass, Peterson to Sampson, who makes no hesitation on that stuff.
They spent 2 hours working on the double team and how to pass and find the open man. That time was picture book by the Rockets.
Lead is 9. Walton playing outside to remove Hakeem from the defensive boards. Doubled with Lloyd and Peterson. They find McHale though inside. McHale there for the follow-up.
Both players afraid to foul, backed off.
Neither of them is in foul trouble as Olajuwon and Sampson only have 1 foul apiece. Peterson. Knocked out. Lloyd. Only Ralph could have caught that pass, and he scores from the corner with under 3 to go in the first half.
I'm telling you, the Rockets' inside game starting to heat up.
Sampson 15, Olajuwon 12. Lloyd has 8.
You know, that time they handle it so well, it's going to make the Celtics and Casey Jones think about that doubling tactic.
Bird goes up and draws the foul.
Take a look at this fine pass by Jerry Seasting to Bill Walton underneath. He sees Hakeem leave him. That leaves Walton all alone for the easier shot. That's what the Celtics are famous for, passing up the short 2 for an easier one.
McHale goes out of the game. He has scored 13 and Robert Parrish returns in. And we're seeing a lot more shuttling of the big man for Casey Jones in this game. An early appearance by Kite and moving Walton and Parrish and McHale around.
Well, it's hot in this building right now. The Rockets have controlled the tempo. Casey Jones doesn't want any of his big people to get a tired foul.
The Celtics 12 out of 13 from the free throw line. They took 11 more shots from the stripe than did the Rockets in game 1. And they're up by 11. 2.5 to play, first half. Sampson. Making like a guard. Peterson in there. Over Walton with the basket. But you don't want Sampson too much out there shooting.
They've got triple towers in there right now, and Bird better get to Peterson to block him off. He can't play him like McRae.
Bird, guarded by Peterson, puts a move on him. Parrish, if that Bird hits outside. Larry Bird with 18 points. So the one thing he didn't do so much in game 1 was scoring. And he's making up for that so far tonight. He's hit his last 4.
Bill Fitch saying, I'm going to put Peterson on you, Larry Bird, and pound on you.
Peterson, nowhere to go. Out to level. Lead is 11, 56 to 45 Celtics. Olajuwon in the crowd, and it drops for him.
What a move. I'm telling you, and bodies are going to fly around here now with 3 big guys in for the Rockets and 3 for the Celtics. A lot of blocking out going on.
We say in the beginning of the series, the action's going to be inside the paint and above the rim. Dennis Johnson gets it to Walton, picked off by Peterson.
I tell you, he's got his head into the rotation of the defense.
Lloyd going strong inside, tipped up and in by Olajuwon, and Hakeem with 16 points, 8 in each period.
Now, Bird is very upset that nobody got to Olajuwon to block him out.
And a delay of game warning called against the Houston Rockets. A lot of times teams, to prevent the opposition after a made basket from getting a break on, will kind of kick or knock the ball away.
You know, when Olajuwon comes steaming up on that fast break, there aren't too many people going to step in his way to block him off the boards, particularly guards.
Celtics lead is 7. And a Rocket foul. Both teams are in the penalty. Will send Dennis Johnson to the free throw line.
Here's what Bird was upset about. You'll see Olajuwon now with nobody blocking him out. And Parrish was guarding Lloyd, but Seasting never got in there to put a body on Olajuwon, and I don't blame him.
And 1 in the playoffs. Wiped out. Chicago in 3. Atlanta in 5 and Milwaukee in 4 straight to get here.
It's not a bad tactic, I think, Bill Fitch is employing now, the triple towers. And it's really giving the Rockets some size.
9-point game. Olajuwon. That's the kind of shot that the Celtics made him take.
Don't have to be a great leaper, Dick, to be a good rebounder. You have to carve out some position for yourself and control an area. And that's what Bird does so well on the rebound.
For the series, Larry Bird says, I don't want to pay any attention to looking at films of Houston. Why should they be put on a pedestal? We should be put there. And I think he doesn't let them have the kind of letdowns that mortal teams seem to have.
I'll tell you, he's been sky high for this one. He's been peppering the newspapers with how important this game is to the Celtics.
20 points for Larry Bird in the first half. Celtics lead 60-49. 16 on the shot clock. 21 in the first half. Lloyd coming around a screen. Inside to Olajuwon, who's fouled again.
No basket. Celtics foul was on number 00, Robert Parrish. His second personal foul. Team is over the limit.
He's going to score a lot of points from the foul line, but he has got the moves to draw fouls. He moves so quickly to the hoop. He really catches you and destroys your timing playing defense against him.
But if the word gets around, as Rodney McRae comes into the game for Ralph Sampson, that you're better off fouling Olajuwon like they used to do with Will Chamberlain many times, who struggled from the line. He's going to have to work at the line to really extend his game. Rockets lost only 5 games at home this year, and they will go in also undefeated in the playoffs, 7-0 when they face the Celtics on Sunday. So here's Olajuwon.
I'll tell you, the Celtics are running 2 and 3 man at this man, trying to cut off his attack angle to the basket.
He only has 1 offensive rebound. He had 7 in game 1. So the Celtics playing for the last shot, leading by 10. Go off the court with the biggest lead in the game. Larry Bird short. Olajuwon has the rebound, and that last lead for the Rockets was at 30-29. Just before the end of the first period, the Celtics' biggest lead was 11. Taking advantage, the Twin Towers, with 5 stitches under the eye, left eye of Ralph Sampson. Hakeem Olajuwon having a good first half as well. Rockets scored only 20 points in the second period. Here's Larry Bird. Good pass back to Kevin McHale.
When they get you moving one way, you better watch out. It's coming back the other way.
Double and triple on Hakeem, and Robert Reed will have to do just that if they play that defense.
And a big confidence builder for him and the other Rockets to get it out to him.
Only his second basket of the ball game. They want to try and get Sampson into bigger foul trouble. McHale. Another one of the moves that Kevin McHale takes out of the repertoire.
And they could have called a foul on Sampson. He shoved him with the arm.
Inside, McRae knocked away. Parrish has possession of it.
And Bird got away with an illegal defense that time in the low post.
McHale knocked away by Sampson. Finally, Olajuwon makes the steal into the hands of Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd, too, has to get untrapped. Hakeem. And it drops. Olajuwon with his first points of the second half.
I'll tell you, he's got that fall away down.
He had 40 points against the Lakers, his playoff high, 33 in game 1. Soccer goalie, and you can see what kind of quick hands he has.
He's got hands right and left that he uses. Most players really have one hand.
Bird pulls up, and inside the rebound by Olajuwon. The rebounds were even in the first half, but the Rockets got off a lot more shots.
That's a good sign for them, but they got to run that break a little bit better.
Olajuwon misses Ainge the rebound. Quickly looks down court.
That's the difference between the Celtics and the Rockets.
Harris, to be the fact that they quick look down court for the play.
Yep, and if somebody's open, he'll get the ball.
Sampson to McRae inside. Rodney McRae with only his second basket of the ball game. And the lead is cut to 8, 64 to 56. Celtics in front, 9:35 to go early here in the third.
Boston wants to control the tempo. They'll slow it down a little bit.
They won game one, 112 to 100. McRae on Bird, who's isolated, one side. There's help. Ainge, the other corner. Celtics did that effectively in game one.
They moved the ball beautifully on the double teams. Get it out and then find the open man.
And they hit the shot. Sampson against Parrish. No one near the boards for a possible offensive rebound. You're watching Game 2 of the NBA Finals here at ancient Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, where the Celtics, who won Game 1 at home, are leading here in Game 2, 66 to 56, with 9 minutes to go in the third period. Dick Stockton with Tom Heinsohn, Brent Musburger, Pat O'Brien, and Irvin Magic Johnson. Larry Bird with 20 leads the Celtics. Hakeem Olajuwon with 19 is the high score for Houston. Weren't able to get Pat O'Brien's interview with Bill Fitch, but he relayed what Bill Fitch said. Tommy?
Pat said that Bill said that the shot selection concerned him, and their fast break, particularly the passing on the fast break, in my opinion, wasn't working. The Heat hasn't hurt him, according to Bill Fitch.
But go back to that fast break story. Dennis Johnson missing, and there's Parrish with the offensive rebound. Dennis Johnson penetrating inside. McHale into the corner to Johnson. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Celtics don't have to rush. Parrish. Dennis Johnson hit in the eye, and they're going to call a foul. Not intentional, but he got hit nonetheless.
But you see the importance of Dennis Johnson, who came up with that offensive rebound. He used to be a center in college. Well, he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. Watch Olajuwon's hands. When I said he uses both hands, right and left, that time he used the right hand.
The Rockets foul was on number 34, Hakeem Olajuwon, his second.
The Celtics showing excellent balance here, and Dennis Johnson back in the ball game following the timeout. Keep in mind that Parrish was their leading scorer with 23 in game one. He's only hit 3 of 10 tonight, but others take up the slack, and that's been the Boston story this year. 8:25 to go. Larry Bird is pushed, and Rodney McRae picks up his third personal foul.
Boy, and Larry Bird just gave Dennis Johnson a wink. That was a heck of a pass that Bird threw to Bird, that Johnson threw to Bird. McRae had to foul him to stop 2.
Now Sampson guarding McHale, who has a book of moves. Dennis Johnson shows that his eye and head is all right, hits the jump shot. Now the Rockets in the forecourt. 12-point lead for the Celtics. And a steal. Bird took it away from Olajuwon. Bird finds Parrish. And the Celtics have opened up a 14-point lead, their biggest of the game, and this may be one of those spurts we've seen so often.
You better not go to sleep on defense when they're pushing the ball up, Rockets.
Inside, McRae, shot blocked by McHale to Bird. 3-on-3, Boston. Dennis Johnson. Bird. They just look for the open man, and they know if you get open, you'll be there, you'll get the ball, and you can shoot it.
But they come up the court so wide to the sideline. They spread out your defense. Beautiful fast break.
Bird, 3. Three-pointers for Larry Bird. And it's 73 to 56. Sampson in a crowd. He's fouled, but the Celtics have put on a tremendous spurt here in the third period with 7:06 to go, have opened up a big margin.
We're going to see some great defense by Larry Bird. You know, he's forcing them to shoot from outside, getting in front of Olajuwon so he can pick off passes like that. Olajuwon fouls him. He gets away with it. And Bird just attacks the basket. I'll tell you this man, when he has you down, he's going to keep you down and keep pouring it on.
As Sampson misses the free throw, the foul was on McHale, his third. What does game 2 mean for the Rockets? Well, if they were to win here in Boston Garden, they would do something that only one other team had done all year, and then they would go home for 3 games and change the complexion of it. If the Celtics win, they have a 2-0 lead, and now the Rockets virtually must win all their home games, and then still must win another game in Boston. Larry Bird. Celtics have scored 9. The free throw broke the string, and Larry Bird keeps it going. 75-57. Whistle. No basket. Now they say the basket by Olajuwon will count. Let's see. Ainge is called for the foul. No basket. No basket. Seasting comes in for Ainge, who goes out with his 4th personal foul. Ainge has scored 10.
Bill Fitch says whenever they double, they get a piece of the ball, the Celtics. Look at that.
They got a piece of it again. They are smothering the Rockets inside. Olajuwon coming out to meet Bird.
Aha!
No basket. Foul on Hakeem.
Larry Bird baited Olajuwon into that foul. As soon as he saw Olajuwon, he was going to make him play him and tantalize him with the ball. He did it.
Someday, Hakeem won't go for that. But in his second year, he did. Dennis Johnson misses a 3. And McRae coming down with it. Mitchell Wiggins hitting from the corner.
You see, they get the rebound, dribble the ball up the court, and then pass it as they get near the foul line. It allows an extra Celtic defender to get up to stop the fast break.
Under 6 minutes to go, third period. A big period for the Celtics, who slowly moved away from the Rockets. Seasting got free and hit from the top of the circle. Larry Bird is 25 points. Red Auerbach said yesterday he doesn't come to play, he comes to win. He baited Hakeem Olajuwon into a foul. Sampson off the side of the backboard. Hakeem comes up with it. Passes to Sampson. Knocked away. McRae misses outside. Sampson goes in strong and finally scores for the Rockets.
That was hanging tough, as they say. A couple of good offensive rebounds that time by the Rockets. That's what they need to do. Hang in here now. Take the tough blow of the Celtics, shrug it off, and get back in it.
And they've got enough time. McRae all over Bird. Bird. This is a three-point attempt. Knocked away, and it's still Celtics ball.
That was another good rebound by Dennis Johnson. Forced Reed to bat it out of bounds.
The Celtics are getting the loose balls. They're hustling just an inch more than the Rockets, and they're elbowing inside, as you might expect. Sampson and McHale, who sets a pick for Johnson. Dennis Johnson goes in, gets the basket and the foul. Boy, does he use his body in a penetration situation. Sampson has 2, Hakeem has 19, 37 points between them. And Sampson goes up, travels. And Jim Peterson will come into the ball game for the Rockets. Let's talk about the foul situation right now. Hakeem just picked up his 4th. Lloyd has 4. Ainge, the only Celtic with 4 fouls, and Olajuwon will get a much-needed breather right here. 19-point lead for the Celtics, 80-61, trying to make it 2-0 en route to Houston.
It's a good way for the Rockets right now to get back in and get up on Dennis Johnson and get aggressive defensively.
All of them seem to be getting up on the Celtics, all 5. Like McRae right there. Peterson gets the rebound. Good defense by Houston. They're going to need a lot more of that.
But no outlet pass to start the fast break.
Peterson trying to knock Johnson into a pick. Jim Peterson misses. Wiggins there. Rockets not able to hit shots. And we'll have a Houston foul. They're reaching for the Celtics, who are getting the rebound. And the foul will be against Wiggins, number 3 on Mitchell.
Penalty situation. Johnson has 2 shots.
And that's why Casey Jones has the luxury of calling on David Thurkill. And here's the hand for Larry Bird. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for the MVP for the 3rd consecutive year.
And he does a tune on your brain. Takes the strength of your game and uses it against you on offense like a karate man.
So Thurkill, good defensive player in the ball game now. Can't do anything against McRae, and you can expect McRae maybe to see the ball a lot more. He has scored only 6 so far. McHale against Peterson. Manny helped recruit at Minnesota, but there's Parrish. Loose ball, Seasting. Celtics are getting the loose balls all over the floor. McHale, no good. Sampson comes down with it with 3:20 to go in the 3rd. 19-point lead. McRae goes in. Former Louisville star. He won a national championship before the current edition.
McHale did not get up the court, Dick. He was arguing with the official. That's how that fast break worked for the Rockets.
Peterson fouls McHale. Rockets are in the penalty. That kind of night for Bill Fitch so far.
When things are going bad, it really goes bad. You even run into your own guy's elbows. Watch this. Peterson right in the eye from Mitchell Wiggins. Now, guys, you got to get it together.
2 fouls on Peterson, and here's Kevin McHale. The thing about the Celtics, they have so many ways to go. Larry Bird, with a brief respite, comes back. Thurkill goes out. That's all Larry Bird needed. You know what Bird said yesterday when he got the award? He says, I'm ready for the season, next season, to start next week.
Well, they had a couple of, more than a few days off in between each series because they finished him so early, so he should be well rested. And he hasn't had any injuries in the latter part of the year.
Compared to a year ago, what a difference that year made. Reed misses and a penetration. Bird the rebound.
Boy, he just carves out room for those defensive rebounds. Wow.
84-65, the Celtics in front. Nearly 2.5 to go. Bird saved it from going out of bounds. Dennis Johnson's mad because of the pass. Wiggins winds up with it, and Mitchell Wiggins is fouled by Dennis Johnson. And the two of them stare. As long as that's all it is.
Well, he went for the ball, and so it's not a breakaway foul.
And this man quietly wins 60 games for 4 years. 2 different teams.
Let me tell you a little bit about Casey Jones. He's such an introvert when he was a player with the Celtics that a friend of ours, in order to help him get out of his shell, introduced him to the Toastmasters Club so he would feel free about going out and speaking in public. And now he's singing in places like Symphony Hall.
And you know what? That's kind of a release for him to do that. He's a crooner.
Really sing. You should see him dance, too. Taught me how to dance.
Sorry I wasn't around to see that.
You saw me on the sideline. I learned all those steps from Casey.
Like I said, sorry I wasn't around to see that. 84-67. Wiggins on Seaston. 2:12 remaining in the period. Harris goes up on top. There's Bird again. Seaston wide open. McHale tips it in.
Oh, Larry Bird.
Rodney McRae on the break.
I'll tell you, but Larry Bird had both those rockets. They didn't spread it quite enough, and Larry Bird foot faked them into a jump shot. They should have got a layup out of that fast break.
Celtics had a 10-point lead at the half after a 1-point lead after the first 12 minutes. They've opened it up to 19 points. Now down to 17 with 1:20 to go, and Celtics with a very impressive third period here in game 2. Bird, what a pass from Dennis Johnson. He thread the needle.
Oh, they love to run that play.
And another turnover off the hands of Wiggins.
Dennis Johnson will challenge anybody on the dribble.
Now the Rockets, way behind, have to think of ways to try to get it together before they go home, don't you think? They're way out of it right now.
I think the best strategy for Bill Fitch was what he told me is, I hope Larry gets tied up in traffic before the game.
McHale with 23. Olajuwon witnessing. This Boston Celtic clinic here in the third period. Gray goes out to Dennis Johnson. 4-on-2. Seaston in the corner. They want this game too, and that's why at the outset we said the Celtics regard it as a must game, and they played that way. Blocked out of bounds, and last off the rim it'll be Boston ball. He missed the stuff. Everything going wrong for the Rockets, but the Celtics are making it happen.
You know, and this is a big blowout happening here. They got to try and crawl back so Bill Fitch will be able to talk about it when they get back to Houston, so his team won't get too demoralized.
8 on the shot clock. Bird's been marvelous. How's that?
Wow.
29.
A master of the half-inch.
Peterson misses. That's the end of the period. Listen to him.
Got to get their morale back, the Rockets, in this fourth quarter.
Steve Harris, a rookie, has come in the ball game. Good outside shooter, who they have a lot of hope for. Misses there. Olajuwon feeding Peterson. Good pass by Hakeem. And Peterson, off the bench, has 6 in the ball game.
Number 20 is Steve Harris.
Steve Harris, spring being rookie out of Tulsa, into the ball game. First appearance. Bird inside to Dennis Johnson. Seaston finds an opening and gets it over Olajuwon for 2 more.
What patience by the Celtics that time. The Rockets, with their inexperience, might have thrown that ball away. The Celtics save it till they get a good shot.
Olajuwon. Ball knocked away by Bird. Team recovers. Out to Level. Level and Harris make up the backcourt. Level to Peterson, blocked by Bill Walton in the game. And Walton's hit by McRae.
His 4th personal foul. First of the team.
It was a 13-3 spurt when they put the clamps on. Bird and Walton keeps it alive. Little fancy pass. C-stick from Bird.
Bird carries out the game plan.
And the Rockets want to know what hit him.
Get Ceasing involved in the offense.
Olajuwon coming back. Hakeem with 21 points. Sampson on the bench. He had 5 stitches below his left eye. He has scored 18 points, but at 15 at the half. Here's Parrish. Block shot by Hakeem, and he stepped on the line. Houston ball. And we'll have an official timeout now with 9:46 to go and a long uphill road for the Houston Rockets.
I don't think the Rockets have capitalized on him, Ceasing, quite as much as they might have with Reed.
I think that the evidence that Harris and Level are in there shows you what Bill Fitch's feeling is of the starting guard performances of the Rockets. Level, this is a three-point attempt out of bounds, still Houston ball. Fact is that Reed and Lloyd just haven't done it tonight for the Rockets. And there they are on the bench. Reed 2 for 8, Lloyd 4 out of 9. Neither of them really ever got into this.
I don't think Lloyd really played that bad, though, offensively.
Well, he's a good open court player, and the break wasn't there. Now Level hits outside, and his first basket of the game. 98-75, Celtics. A little more than less than 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth period, and Walton playing up on top to move Hakeem away from the boards. Dennis Johnson now looking for help. Parrish. They like Parrish operating against Peterson inside. Walton crashing the glass. Parrish does it, but Walton made it happen. Johnson to Bird. The cutter is Dennis and Walton. Finally, McRae out to Level, but the Celtics are back defensively. Ceasting playing Level very well indeed. Olajuwon. Peterson on the offensive glass, blocked by Parrish. Out of bounds, Celtics ball.
I'll tell you that inside defense by Walton and Parrish. Forget the offense that they're going to give the Celtics, but they really control the lanes and any kind of penetration.
The guard story has heavily favored the Celtics. In fact, the Twin Towers, who've had a good first half, have only 7 points between them here in the second. Bird, and another great pass.
I love Bill Walton. He loves to pass the Bird.
Wants to win another championship. He did with the Trailblazers in '77. Off the hands of Harris, out of bounds as McHale comes back. Kevin McHale returning to the ball game, and Parrish sits down.
Passing was the thing that concerned Bill Fitch the most after game 1, and it hasn't improved that dramatically for the Rockets in this game.
The Rockets were expecting a better performance. They have from the Twin Towers in one half, but the rest of it hasn't been there. 100-75, a 25-point lead for the Celtics. 7:48 remaining. Walton behind his back to Bird. And the rebound by Olajuwon. But the Celtics continue to get virtually every loose ball on the floor. Steve Harris with a good move. He went around Dennis Johnson and pulled up. Sampson on the bench with the stitches under his eye and 18 points. And we'll take a timeout with 6:52 to go. A big Boston lead.
Number 44, Danny Ainge, is back into the Celtics lineup, replacing Jerry Seaston.
Ainge is in for Seaston. 100-80. Rockets have scored 5 in a row. Harris is guarding Dennis Johnson. Turnaround, good defense by Harris, and a good outlet by Olajuwon to Steve Harris. He misses the layup. There was 2 the Rockets let get away.
Well, you know the old story.
When it rains, it pours.
Things go bad, it goes bad.
Reed had stepped on the line going for the loose ball. It's the Houston bench. Nail-biting time, it's not.
I think you're right there. But, you know, if a Harris could do well for the Rockets at this stage, Bill Fitch will feel a little bit freer in playing him because he's really a good shooter.
Someone else to go to if Lloyd doesn't do it, right?
That's right.
Danny Ainge, though, hits a three-pointer. 13 points for Ainge. Larry Bird has hit 3 three-point shots tonight en route to a 31-point effort. The leading scorer for the Rockets is Olajuwon with 21. Second with Sampson with 18. But Ralph has been on the bench a long while. Harris gets it into Hakeem, guarded by Kite. Oh, geez. Rebound, Reed. Trying to tip it up there is Harris out of bounds. And it's still Houston ball. NBA Commissioner David Stern. And you want to talk about a guy who has really done wonders with a league, any league. David Stern has worked miracles, I think, with the NBA.
I think all that, those good negotiations with the Players Association has really turned a lot of things around for the league.
Reed hits the jumper and the marketing and all that have turned this into a thriving enterprise. 103-82 with 5:15 remaining in the fourth period. Level trying to harass Ainge. And a foul against Level. In 1981, the last time these teams met in the championship, the Rockets, who were surprise finalists because they beat Kansas City in the Western Finals, knocked off LA in the first round, won Game 2 at Boston Garden. Dennis Johnson goes up, and there's Greg Kite with the follow-up. And we have 5 minutes to go. It's 105-82 Boston.
Well, you know, Greg Kite has played, as I said, Olajuwon a lot down in Houston in the summer months. And I want to tell you something. The last time Olajuwon had the ball, he played the best I've seen anybody the Celtics play him.
Peterson on level Smith gets the shot.
You know, Kite could be important should Walton injury to his knee be a problem. So Kite getting his legs under him, so to speak, in this series, pretty important for Casey Jones.
4:29 to go. Ainge going strong inside, and Hakeem the rebound. Rockets have not been able to break the way they wanted to. Here's an example of what they can do if they break and get it out in a hurry. Peterson's in double figures. He has 10 points and 8 rebounds, and another good effort off the bench.
Half their fast break problems, Dick, is the outlet pass. They don't get it out quick enough so that an extra couple of Celtic defenders can get back to protect against it.
McHale misses, and Greg Kite is in there to tip it in. So if Red Auerbach's team and Don Gaston, one of the owners here, they have to be a man. If Walton can't go, Kite is showing that he can be counted on. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in a hot and steamy Boston night inside the Garden. And Dennis Johnson pours salt on the wound with his 18th point.
Well, he says, I've got a rookie here. I'm going to show him who's boss.
Celtic guards have pummeled the Rocket guards in the scoring department.
How do you get experience? By making mistakes.
Peterson. Harris crashing the boards. Dennis Johnson winding down to 3 minutes remaining in the game. Celtics said this is a must game for us, and they played it like that. And a blocking foul called against Peterson. K.C. Jones is going to empty his bench and listen to the hands of the heroes here. Bird, 31. Dennis Johnson, 18. Danny Ainge, 13 points.
Well, you know, you see guys assume responsibility for a win. That's what Larry Bird did here tonight. He put this win on the board with his temperament, his poise, and his determination.
Tommy, if the Boston Celtics went into this game saying this is a must game for us, we can't afford a split here, I would say Game 3, Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on CBS, Game 3 in Houston is definitely a must for the Houston Rockets.
Oh, absolutely, for them to gain that win. All that's really happened here is that the Celtics have held their serve. The next 3 games in Houston, their territory, I think they can beat them down there. A lot of people have had trouble with the Rockets down in Houston. What really impresses me now is what Bill Fitch is going to say. Bill Fitch is going to say, look, guys, what difference does it make whether you get beat by 30 or 2? We had a loss. We had some mental mistakes. We're back home in Houston. We're going to win it.
Well, they're going to have to get a full game from the Towers. And the Boston Celtics say we've had the answer to the Towers so far in the series, says people like Parrish and McHale. Hakeem Olajuwon, only 2 baskets this half. Ralph Sampson has spent much of it on the bench. Only 1 basket and very little productivity from the Houston guards. Craig Elo, in his 3rd year, number 3, is into the ball game. Hank McDowell, 6'9", well-traveled forward, also in there for Houston.
Sam Vincent for the Celtics now is the really only penetrator that the Celtics have on their lineup to really get inside. I think it's going to be a heck of an addition next year for the Celtics.
Danny Ainge, a well-executed play coming around. Larry Bird with 31 points and a tremendous all-round game. You saw one of his superb passes. The fans here at Boston Garden just enjoying the final minutes of this game as Kite blocks Steve Harris, goes up and gets a basket and a foul. Granville Waiters, 6'11" prospect out of Ohio State, who they think could be a backup center, is getting set to come into the game. So everyone's seeing action on both sides. Only injury of note, Bill Walton, knee in the right thigh. Came out of the ball game. Height finds Vincent inside. Rookie from Michigan State. This is again under 2 minutes to go. And with the reserves in there, they're playing like it's the title. They don't get a chance this often. Here's Carlisle, who was Sampson's teammate at the University of Virginia.
And Ainge is in there to lend a little experience to this group that's Carlisle's playing forward.
Inside, Ainge is fouled, or fouls Peterson. 113 to 90, and Granville Waiters at 6'11" will come in. Ralph Sampson will sit down. So this has been a nightmare for the Houston Rockets. Sampson, and the Rockets will say maybe that when he came out of the game with the 5 stitches, a lot of the oomph went out of the Rockets, but they've got to be able to respond to adversity like that.
Well, that's what an inexperienced team is not capable of doing, and that's where Larry Bird was so important in this game. He just did not let the win slip out of the hands of the Celtics. One way or another, he's going to prove that the Celtics are going to beat you.
Their biggest lead, the Celtics, was 25 points. So this will be the second time in 9 years that a team has won the first 2 games of the NBA Finals. The last time it happened was in 1983. McDowell on the boards is fouled, and in '83, it was the Philadelphia 76ers who not only took the first 2, but they took all 4 games in a sweep over the Lakers for the title. You know, Tommy, the Celtics may be starting to think about that aspect, because if the Celtics go to Houston and win 2, a 15-1 record in the playoffs would be the best ever.
And it would be the best season that any team ever had for a full season, playoffs and regular season. Most wins.
And then people will start to talk about, not yet, where the Boston Celtics fit amongst the greatest of all teams. But again, Tommy, I go back to the comment you made. At this point, the Celtics have held serve. They've won their home game.
That's about the size of it, Dick. I'll tell you this. I expect the Rockets, when they get down there in Houston, to like the home cooking.
Willie
the fans.
Nelson. Willie
Nelson. You know.
But you know, the Celtics like to quiet down the Willie Nelsons and the fans of Houston in a road crowd.
Well, the Rockets are tough to beat down there.
Yes, they are. Lost only 5 this year.
Rick Carlisle, long-range hits. Carlisle's a real smart player in his second year. A lot of people wondered how he held on, but he has been a good stabilizer as a young guy. Actually, he's an old second-year guy, if you want to call it that, at age 25.
Well, Rick Carlisle is an excellent shooter, and for a guy, his main problem his rookie year, Dick, was that he was slow, and he used to get beat by the smaller, quicker guards. He's learned to compensate for that. He just backs off a little bit and doesn't get beat with the speed anymore.
49 seconds remaining in the game. 115-91. It's been all Boston. 1-point lead after 1, 10 at the half, and they really open it up. 17 after 3. It'll be Rockets ball. Bill Fitch on the sideline with his assistant coach Carol Dawson. And you know he'll be looking at a lot of the videotape.
If I were Bill Fitch, I'd forget this one. I'd close the videotape cabinet and forget it and just deal with forget this game, guys. We're going back home.
Credit McDowell with the basket. Hank McDowell goaltending against the Celtics. And what's left of this crowd will give him a standing ovation. "15 seconds to go. It was not the high-intensity game that was anticipated. Game 2 was a Boston Celtic rout. And the Celtics will go to Houston, leading 2-0 in the best-of-7. And for a lot of the fans who have hung in here to watch Larry Bird and company, Tommy, this may be the last home game for the Boston Celtics this season.
That man right there is going to have a little something to say about it. Hakeem Olajuwon.
Three home games upcoming for the Rockets. But they've got to win 1 before they win 2. And that Sunday game, kind of a now or never affair for the Rockets.
You know, just looking in the eyes of some of those Rockets. Some of them have, let's forget about it in their eyes, and some of them are still concerned about this thing.
Some of them can forget, maybe.
All right.
Third kill with the basket. 5 seconds to go. Not much the Celtics couldn't do tonight. And the game is over. The Boston Celtics have won their 40th consecutive game at home, including 3 at Hartford, the rest at Boston Garden, and that man, Larry Bird, with 31 points and a superb all-round game, beat his former coach, Bill Fitch, and it's 2-0 in favor of Boston in the best-of-7 before we go to Houston and 3 games. The final score, the Boston Celtics 117, the Houston Rockets 95.